Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. Hope everybody is having a great day, start to your day. And I hope that you have had a great week up until this point. And whether or not you feel your week has been ideal, remember what I tell you that if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. So, whatever's going on, stand up, square your shoulders, prepare yourself to move forward, and understand that this is about persistent. It's not a sprint. It is a consistent push towards something worthwhile. And if you have something in your spiritual vision that's worth having, it's worth pressing forward, it's worth pushing toward, it's worth standing up and getting up every morning and putting in the work. I promise you, if you consistently put in the work, that you will reach your goal. You will obtain the things that you pursue, but you're going to have to be faithful and consistent and committed to the cause. Now, before we get off into this, I want to share something with you today uh, about how you can get away from uh, bad ideas, thoughts, and labels to free yourself of your past so that you can walk into your future. So many people in this world are literally anchored by their past to the point that they can't walk into an elevated and empowered future because they're so connected and anchored by what has happened in the past, how they see themselves, how others see themselves, what they've done, what they believe about themselves, so many different things. Speaking of what they believe about themselves, don't forget, time is winding down fast. Tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is the master class for crushing limiting beliefs. I'm so excited about what we're going to do in this class tomorrow. Class starts at noon CST on tomorrow. I know a lot of you are still waiting on the material. I've done some adjustments to it because we're taking a 15 module course and we're condensing it. So I am redoing it, and I want you to be able to get it in the time that we have allotted. And I want you to be able to ask questions. I want to hear about your specific story so we can address your specific issues. And so I'm doing some things with it to make sure it flows, but it's all coming out to everyone who hasn't gotten it today. And so look forward to that. But here's the beautiful thing. If you sign up for this tomorrow during the class, I'm literally going to put the names of all enrollees, whether they make it to the class or not, into a bag. And I'm drawing two of those names out, and I'm giving them a $10,500 platinum package. That's 1 year of working with me. You're going to be drawn out, and I'm going to give that to you. You're going to get the beautiful experience of working with me tomorrow on crushing limiting beliefs. That's going to be explosive. It's going to be powerful, but you're also going to get a chance to win a $10,500 platinum package. And for the people who don't win, you will still be offered that platinum package at 90% off for those who enroll. And even if you don't show up, because I'm filming it, I'm not filming, I'm recording it. I'm recording it, and it will be available for replay for anybody who has enrolled. You don't want to miss that. Now, let's talk about this. In my 21st book, I Am, the Power of Positive Affirmations, I talk about the two words I am. I am, to me, are two of the most powerful words in the English lexicon. Why? Because whatever follows becomes the reality that you live in your life. Whatever follows becomes a reality manifested by way of thought and behavior. You've got to be very careful of what follows I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take my book I Am, which is book number 21 out of 24, doing 25 and 26 this year. Boy, got a lot on deck, but hey, that's me. The title of this particular part of the chapter is "You Are What You Think," and here we go. Through God's omniscience, He has always known everything we will ever do or think. Yet He allows us the volitional freedom, which is freedom of choice, to make our own decisions. Although we are given the right to exercise our volition freely, we are held responsible for every decision, including the things that we allow ourselves to think. Scripture has revealed quite clearly that our thinking carries great implication. So it is important to grasp the fact that our thinking is all important. And then I quote Proverbs 23:7, "For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Although we are judged by our overt behavior, we are what we think. Your mental attitude, your thought processes directly influence every aspect of your behavior. Understanding this goes a long way in bringing about the necessary transformations you desire. When the Bible refers to thought, there are primary influences by which thoughts are produced. For the sake of clarity, we will call these primary conduits the left lobe and the right lobe of the soul. The Bible always relates to our thought patterns to the right lobe of the soul, which is in the Greek translated cardia, or in the English heart, and Hebrew lev. This is in contrast to the left or perceptive lobe of the soul, which is in Greek designated nous, or in English mind. This is your conscious mind. The mind is the staging area of the soul. Quick warning, do not get the mind and the brain confused. The mind is an immaterial aspect of the soul, while the brain is the material biological organism. For the sake of definition, the soul is the irrational, immaterial aspect of mankind composed of self-consciousness, mentality, volitions, and conscious. For a more detailed explanation of the soul, you may request a copy of The Study of the Soul, which is an in-depth study of the human soul. When doctrinal knowledge is received through the left lobe of the mind, it's called gnosis, or in the Greek, knowledge in the English, and knowledge that is transferred to the right lobe, cardia, or heart, is called epignosis, or in the Greek, full knowledge. And basically, what we know is that somewhat technical in this is this one thing that I get through in this entire book, is that you are what you think, and that when you speak I am, what follows has great implications. Now, in visionetics, which is a concept that I designed years ago, and that's why we call it the Visionetics Institute. Visionetics is simple. It is, how do you see yourself in the world? What does your self-image tell you about yourself? And whatever your self-image tells you about yourself is what's going to be the thing that most powerfully moves you towards something. Now, what in visionetics, there's this thing I call, this process I call label giving. And you have primary label givers. Your primary label givers are your parents and your teachers, because in your developmental years, they're the ones with the most authority that spend the most time around you. How they label you, and especially those labels that you hold on to, is going to have a massive impact on how you see yourself in the world, therefore dictate how you move in the world. I've had people who used words after I am old, I am tired, I am horrible with money, I am forgetful, I don't know how to learn, I'm intellectually challenged. I've had people come to me with all these different ideas about why they won't be able to accomplish things because they felt limited by those labels, and they had accepted those labels, and they would literally repeat them. And there was one young lady who kept saying, I'm intellectually challenged. And when we went back, we found out where it came from. We dealt with it. And then I pointed out a bunch of different things that showed me she was not intellectually challenged. We dropped that label. We took on a label that says, I am intellectually explosive. I can do anything that I desire to do. I have the ability to learn. I have the ability to expand my mind. I have the ability to do things. I am exceptional. I am extraordinary. I am phenomenal. And we kept going. I am. And we never follow I am by anything negative, because it's a declaration. It says, you shall declare a thing and it shall be established for you. You got to be careful what you're declaring. You got to be careful of the labels that you are still carrying. Let me tell you something. The way you free yourself from your past is by looking at the labels you're carrying and dropping those labels and expanding the process of what you are. Don't lock yourself into a label. Labels limit you, because when you say I'm old, I'm getting old. Well, what happens is you hear yourself saying getting old, your mind has an idea of what old people do. Your mind has an idea of how old people behave. You find yourself restricting your movement, moving slower, preserving and reserving energy. And what you do is you find your body is starting to adjust to the lack of activity, and you're losing mobility. And all of a sudden, now you're starting to manifest what you had declared, because your brain is processing that as a reality. You've got to be careful what you are declaring. Stop declaring I am old. Stop declaring I'm horrible with money. Start saying I am going to be exceptional with money. If you are a person that you feel like you don't manage money well, I am going to be exceptional. I'm going to master money. I am. You put the thing that you desire to be instead of the thing you think you are, or the thing that you don't want to be. Never speak what you don't want. Never focus on what you don't want. What you focus on, you feel. Whatever you focus on, you feel. If you're giving all your attention to the negative, you're going to be the negative. But you got to stop bringing all of those negative labels out of the past. You are not someone's opinion of you. Someone's opinion of you should never define you. But so many of us are still carrying around what other people defined in us, what other people saw in us, how other people believed about us, instead of sitting up and understanding who we are in ourselves. That's the beauty of this course tomorrow. We're going to be crushing so many of those limiting beliefs about ourselves. We're going to go in and we're going to look at it. We're going to find out that we were never limited in that area. We were never limited. We just accepted the label somebody gave us. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. All the I am, all of those. I am has to be followed by remarkable, exceptional, phenomenal affirmations and declarations. You got to speak it. And there's a part in that I absolutely love. It says you call those things that are not as though they were. You're not locked into observing your current situation and then accepting it as your eternal reality. No, you get to call things that are not as though they were. If you call them as though they were, you declare them. And the brain starts to say, while I don't physically see it, there's a declaration. It's an I am declaration. I am exceptional. I am extraordinary. I am powerful. I am wealthy. I am abundant. All of these different things. And what happens is the mind starts to explore and look for things that align with the declaration. And what the mind starts to discover is there's no limits to what it can discover about just what you're capable of doing. A lot of you have locked your mind into the very limiting ideas about yourself that other people passed on to you. It's time to let those things go. It's time to start exploring what's possible in your life. It's time to start exploring what you're capable of doing at very high levels. It's time to get outside of the box. It's time to start challenging yourself, but you've got to change your thinking. You got to replace every negative idea with a positive. What's it? Bringing every thought into captivity. Every thought into captivity. That's some powerful psychology for 2,000 years ago. Bring every thought into captivity. Cast down every argument that exalts itself against the knowledge of God for your life. There's something powerful setting on you. There's a gifting inside of you, and you have neutralized the gift because you are carrying old labels that never applied in the first place. So what are you going to do? You're going to set those labels down. You're going to move beyond what you've been saying, and you're going to start speaking, start thinking. Look, your self-talk is huge. What are you saying about yourself? Be careful. As a man thinks in his heart, that's the deepest part of his soul. That's his subconscious. So is he. I'm telling you, your subconscious controls 96% of your behaviors. 96% of who you are and what you do every day is your subconscious, your heart. And so what are you carrying down there? How are you moving in that space? What beliefs are governing that? We're going to tackle that tomorrow. It's so many of you that are sitting here and you are operating so far beneath your design that it is absolutely ridiculous. But that's all you've heard. You're never going to be able to do this. This is all you're going to do. Don't even think about that. You're not even good at that. Don't do that. You can't do that. Ain't nobody in this family ever did that. What makes you think you can do that? You're this, you're that. All these negative different labels that were put on you that you've been carrying around. Maybe it wasn't even your primary label gives in developmental years. Maybe it was somebody in a relationship that thought it was their responsibility to break you down and tear you down because they didn't feel comfortable with themselves. So they constantly told you you weren't really who you were. They constantly tore you down and told you weren't worth anything, told you that you'll never do anything, that you couldn't get anywhere without them, that all of that, and it stuck. So you're walking around being small because someone small told you to. No, it's time to walk out of it. It's time to rise up. It's time to declare something different in your life. Watch what you speak. I'm telling you, just changing your speech. Watch how it changes your mood. Speak boldly about yourself. Speak with an anticipation of something positive happening for yourself. Speak even when you don't feel like it. That's when you should be speaking it the most. Make your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit search for your truth. But you're controlling it because you have the ability to arrest any thought that does not align with something that you desire for your life. Stop entertaining that negativity. Stop entertaining these negative ideas about yourself. Stop speaking these negative ideas about yourself. Start raising the bar for who you are in this world. I am challenging every person who watches this. You got to come out of it. You got to leave the past. You got to put the past behind you. You got to bring yourself from the past. You got to free yourself from your past. I am. I am. You are what you think. You are what you think. What are you thinking? What thoughts and beliefs are you holding about yourself? Ask yourself and be honest with yourself. How are these beliefs governing and impacting my behavior? How are you limiting yourself by holding on to the past? Release the anchor. Release the anchor. Look ahead and declare greatness in your life. That's the challenge to you. For those of you who need to be helped to release those old beliefs, those old ideas, those old limitations, you really need to join us tomorrow, where we're going to break it all down. We're going to go step by step. We're going to unleash that anchor. We're going to unleash you into a new expectation, into a new realm of possibility. And you're going to find out that things you thought were just fantasy were actually possible. If you can conceive it in your mind, that's God's evidence that it's possible. Now it's time to stand up and move out there. Now it's time to stand up and move ahead. I'm challenging you right now to make this year the most epic year of your life. And it starts with changing those beliefs. Get rid of those limiting beliefs. If you have not enrolled, enroll. And like I said, 2 people in this course are going to walk away with a $10,500 platinum package. That means they get to work with me for a year, 52 sessions plus, working with me to hammer out and create the future they desire for themselves. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. Look, the link is in the box. Click the link. The link to the book I Am is also in the box. You can get the full gist of it and read it and let me know what you think. But you need to be at the class tomorrow. You need to show up. And again, for the people who aren't the 2 who win, I'm still going to offer that platinum package at 90% off of the regular price. So you're still going to get a great opportunity to work with me for a year. And I'm telling you, your life will be different. But whatever you do, show up tomorrow or enroll so that you can get the recorded course, because we're going to record it, all of the things that's going on. I look forward to seeing you there, but you're going to have to make some moves. This is your life. You got to take control. You got to take charge. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I down E. I challenge you to do the same thing. On that note, I'm out of here.